Hello there, and welcome to today's lore video. This one is on the giant legendary Tatooine creature known as the Krayt Dragon. Now, Krayt Dragons are large carnivorous reptiles from Tatooine that came in one of two different subspecies, which I'll go into more detail about later. There was the more common Canyon Krayt Dragon, and then there was the greater Krayt Dragon. Due to their large size and ferocity, they were of course the apex predators of Tatooine, their bodies producing a Krayt venom which acted as an acid to help the dragons digest their food. Now, Krayt Dragons also keep growing all through their life, which could be up to 100 years long, and they didn't really weaken much with age either. And they would also instinctively travel to a place called the Krayt Graveyard when they were about to die. Now, sometimes, as well, in the highest mountains of Tatooine, you could find an ancient Krayt Dragon, which is the oldest and biggest of all the Krayt Dragons. Now, Krayts were also fierce hunters, and over time becoming an important part of indigenous cultures on Tatooine. Even the Jedi, in honor of the beast's sheer power and ferocity, named their Xian and Gem Sov form of lightsaber combat the Way of the Krayt Dragon. And, during the summer when the mating season began, the howls of Krayt Dragons could be heard all throughout the canyons of Tatooine, pretty much scaring everyone, and no one went near the canyons during mating season. Now, Obi-Wan Kenobi even mimicked the hunting cry of a Krayt Dragon to scare the Sand People away from Luke Skywalker in A New Hope. In fact, young Sand People would actually hunt Krayt Dragons as an initiation rite to prove themselves as warriors, and were only accepted back into the tribe as adults if they managed to kill one. Now, the dragons also have a lot of sharp teeth, of course, which are used for capturing prey, but they rely on their Krayt venom as well as swallowed stones to grind their food through a series of gizzards into a digestible state. Now, the food is crushed by these stones, grinding it into pulp, and in the process turning the boulders into smooth stones. Now, these stones, known as dragon pearls, were a very valuable commodity among jewelers. The pearls could also be shaped and tuned by both Jedi and Sith as focusing crystals for their lightsabers. Now, Krayt Dragons were heavily attracted to areas that were strong in the Force, especially the dark side, and there were cases of some Sith artifacts, like part of the star map that was found on Tatooine, that were guarded by Krayt Dragons. Now, despite their awesome power as well, Krayt Dragons did however have a few weak and exploitable biological characteristics. For example, Krayt Dragons had trouble resisting the allure of prey from the Dune Sea, specifically the bantha. They also had difficulty discerning two-dimensional images, which would sometimes lead to them attacking shadows. And finally, a well-placed blaster shot can actually bore right through their weak sinus cavity, hitting their brain and killing them instantly. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there are two subspecies of Krayt Dragon. You have the Canyon Krayt and the Greater Krayt. First is the Canyon Krayt, which is the more common of the dragons. It lives in the rocky caves and canyons of Tatooine's desert ranges, and you'll find that more often than not, when the term Krayt Dragon is used, it's referring to this one in particular, the Canyon Krayt. The patterns of their horns and spikes tend to vary from dragon to dragon, and there was one case of a Canyon Krayt having a two-pronged tail. These dragons are the smallest of the two subspecies, averaging a height of 10 meters with a length of 30, and this four-legged Canyon Krayt possessed a yellow-brown camouflage skin pattern, a five-horned crowned ridge, and a spike-stubbed tail. They usually fed on womp rats, EOPs, and lone banthas, and though it was not nearly as big as the Greater Krayt, it was still big enough to cause destruction, yet still small enough for one sandperson and his bantha to take down as his rite of passage. Now, the pearls produced by these Canyon Krayts were typically more of a deep crimson colour and could often fetch upwards of 1 million credits each. And when it comes to the Greater Krayt Dragons, not only were they rarer than their Canyon cousins, but they were also a lot larger and well known for their tremendous size and continual growth over time. Considered to be of near legendary status, Greater Krayt Dragons have 10 legs and can easily measure up to at least 100 meters long from the snout to the tip of the tail, with some growing even longer. When attacking, they would either use their massive jaws or whip-like spiked tail. Now, despite their size, Greater Krayts are rarely encountered because they spend long stretches of time using their 10 legs to effectively swim through the sands of Tatooine. Now, believe it or not, Greater Krayts are also known to actually prey upon sarlaccs, though they are more commonly found to be hunting banthas. Also, like their smaller cousins, the Greater Krayt Dragons also develop pearls inside their gut, but these pearls were much larger and much more valuable than the standard Krayt Dragon pearls. Now, a fun fact for those of you who may not be aware of this, but during episode 4 A New Hope, on Tatooine not long after C-3PO goes his own separate way from R2-D2, in the background you actually see a skeleton on the sandhill behind him, and that is an actual artificially made skeleton of a Krayt Dragon, made specifically for A New Hope. And then once filming was done for the movie, they actually left it right where it was in the Tunisian desert. And then during the filming of Attack of the Clones several years later, the crew actually went back and visited this site, and they found the skeleton still lying exactly where they left it all those years ago, and it's actually still there to this day. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think of the Krayt Dragon? Do you consider it another reason to just not visit Tatooine altogether, or would you actually want to hunt one yourself? Be sure to let me know in the comments down below, and until next time, may the Force be with you.